Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This week we'll be drawing a funny giraffe. So let's get started. Click on the little plus icon here in the top right corner. Click on the black folder icon with the little plus on it. And let's make a canvas, let's say 3000, oops, didn't work right. 3000 by 3000 square and hit create. There we go. There's our canvas. So in the link below, you will be able to, or in the description below, you'll be able to download all of the things that you will need for this tutorial. I will include a sketch with grid lines, a sketch without grid lines, the color palette that I'm using, and also a pack of 4 brushes that I use to make this drawing. So first off, if you are new to Procreate or don't have any experience in drawing, what you can do is click the little wrench icon right there, go into Add, Insert a Photo, and then click on the giraffe without grid lines. And you should not have to resize it because the sketch that I've provided is the same dimensions as the canvas you just created. Make it easier for you. So there we are. Now what we can do with this is we can create a new layer by hitting the 2 little folders or 2 little papers right there, plus sign, and let's drag it, hold it down, and drag it under our sketch there. If you click on the little N there, you can take the opacity down of the sketch, and then you're able to draw right on top of it. So we could just sketch it out just like that. If you have some experience drawing and you have a little bit of experience with Procreate, another way you could do it is you could load your sketch in as a reference photo. And doing that by clicking on the little wrench icon right there, make sure canvas is highlighted, reference right here, turn that on. Click on image there in the center, import an image, and then import the image with the grid lines on it. Okay, and there we go. We have this little sketch over here on the left-hand side. Now, if you want to put the grid lines on your canvas that are the same dimensions as the sketch, click the little wrench icon here again, turn on your drawing guide, edit your drawing guide, and then where it says grid size right here, click on that and do 355, I think that's what I set it at. And then, if we resize our canvas, let me put this over here to the edge. You can see that the lines match up just perfectly. All right, so let's get started in sketching out our giraffe here. And I'm going to use just a pencil. I mean, you can use any of the pencils that come with Procreate. I've provided you with one also. I will give you the Chamel sketch pencil. We'll just use that one. All right, and then what we want to do is we want to map out our character here and make sure that he's kind of the right dimensions and right size. That way when we go into inking process, it'll make it a little bit more easier on us. Okay, so I'm going to start with his neck actually. And you can see it's 1, 2, 3 squares over. 1, 2, 3. And the 4th square right here. So his neck's going to be coming down just like that. And see, you can use that grid line as a guide. And then he's going to be turning about right there. So now we can see this line just about like that. Okay, and then the leg is going to come here, and he's going to have like a little knobby knee. So just come out like that, like a little diamond, half diamond shape, I guess. And then his foot is going to come out to about right there, and a toe, another toe right there, and then this foot's going to come back up, put in that knee, and then just like that. So I think that's really good. We got it almost just like it. It's a little bit longer than that one, but that should be fine. Okay, and then the other one comes down to about right here. And again with the knobby knee. And this one's going to come out about right there. Maybe we'll put him another toe in there. And this side, we're not going to be able to see it very well. It's going to be kind of behind that other leg. So, and just kind of know that it's in there. All right, that's good. And okay, his stomach looks like it comes up about right there. And then we have this line that comes across. And then this leg come down like that. And a little hoof. I guess that's what you call a giraffe's foot, a hoof. Okay, and this leg will come up to about right here and then cut back this way. And then his little booty's going to be about right there. Okay. This side of his neck is going to start about right there. It's going to come up. Out right there. And then this back is going to connect to about right there. Okay, and then his other leg is going to come about right here. And then it's going to come down another little knobby knee here into some round toes like that. Okay, and the tail about like that. And that. You can have like a little shaggy tail. That's good. Okay, now let's get his funny head in here. Gonna make it bigger. And that should be right there. Gonna match this up with this. Okay, and his nostril is going to come maybe like that. It'll come around like that. Circle right there, and nose hole right there. And then this is going to come about like that. Another nose hole is going to come about right there. And then come in like this. And another circle there. All right, that's looking good. Tongue. Let's do this mouth first. You got like a little grin. And this is going to come down to about right there. And then this wacky tongue is going to come out about like that. All right, that looks good. Okay, this head portion is going to come up to about right there. This is going to come around like that. And then we got a couple of funny eyes. So one right there and another one round right there. Eyeball here, eyeball there. They're going to be kind of cross-eyed looking. Okay, and the top of his head. About like that. I think I made it too tall. Yeah, it only comes about right there on that one. I'm going to undo that. 2-finger tap. We'll undo it. Maybe like that. It's better. Okay, and an ear. Just a little half circle there. Okay, and this ear over here is going to come about right there. Okay, and then a horn. And a horn here. And then he's going to have like a little top knot hair. All right, if you want to, you can go ahead and kind of put these circles where we're going to go, but I mean, that really don't matter. But if you'd like to know where to put them at, where they look pretty even, you can just put those in. Let me see, I got one here and then one there. You can just put them anywhere you like, actually. They don't have to be exactly where mine are. I'm just putting them random spots. All right, I think that's good. That's got our sketch in. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into our inking process next. Okay, so I don't need that reference photo anymore, so I'm going to get rid of it. So hit your little wrench icon, turn off the reference, and it goes away. And now we're left here with just our sketch. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to touch it and hold it until it kind of changes. You'll see the change in it, and then drag it under our sketch there. I'm going to hit the little N. That's why my sketch wasn't so dark. I still had that layer on as a when I was showing you the first way to do this. I was wondering why it was so pale, but anyway, it's going to remain pale anyway. All right, so we're going to sketch him in black. If you go to your Chamel Inker streamer that I will provide with you, the link again will be in the description below. It's a free download, although I've set it up where you can donate $1 or $2 to the channel so that I can keep bringing these free tutorials to you every week. You would be very much appreciated, and I really thank everybody for supporting the channel so well. Okay, let's get the inking started. So what I'm going to do is I got my layer under my sketch layer, and we're going to start laying some black lines on top of this. Now, this pencil that I've given you is a thick to thin pencil, so the harder you push, the thicker your line is. And the reason I like this is because it gives it that cartoon, so you can go thin to thick to thin again. And you notice kind of line like this is what you will see a lot in cartoons. So that's the reason why I do that. You can kind of practice with it. I'm going to make the size about 7%. Okay, and we're just going to start inking this. Now, one way that you can signify where light sources are, we're going to start from the top left. The light's coming in from this way. Oops. This way. So what you can do is you can use the line weight to signify light source also, where the line closest to the light is going to be thinner, and when it goes away from the light, it's going to be thicker. So in other words, the light's coming down, so it's going to be casting some light on this side, so we're going to do thin, and then as we move away from the light, we're going to push down a little bit harder and make it thicker. So this kind of will signify, other than we're going to be doing colors too to show shading, but this also will give it that shading effect. So kind of like that. Okay, and let's do this nostril here with thin to thick to thin. And then I'm just going to fill this one in like that. Okay, there's one nose hole done. Let's do this one over here. Thin to thick to thin. Just like that. Okay, and his little goofy smile there. Okay, let's do this. Oops, I don't like that. A little bit more of a curve. There we go. Okay, and this tongue. Just like that. Let me see here. We're going to start thin here and then get thicker as we go up and tap in it right there. All right. Okay, let's do this eye. I'm going to do thin to thick to thin again. And then over here, thin to thick to thin. And you can hold your pencil down and it will make a very smooth curve. And I'm going to fix this right here. I don't like that. There we go. All right, let's do an eyeball here. I'm going to do another one about right there. And see how goofy he looks. There we go. All right, and then his head here. Thin to thick. Because the lights come in, remember, from here. Thin to thicker. And we're going to connect right there. Oops, I went over a little bit, so I'm going to clean that up. Oops. Eraser too big. Let's make this smaller. Here we go. I'll clean that line up. Okay, let's do this ear. Like that. And it's thin to thick. Here we go. And another one here. Good enough? Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this hair in first. And then I'm going to put the horns over it and then erase any of the lines. Actually, I'm going to put these horns on a new layer. Plus, and I'll show you why. One in there. And one right there. Oops, I accidentally deleted it, so 3 fingers will bring it back. 3-finger tap. Okay, so what I want to do is erase that hair. So that's why I put the horns on a different layer. So now I can go back to where the hair is at. And then I can get rid of these hairlines and it won't erase the horns. Just like that. Oops, I don't want to erase that. Just this little bit right there. Okay, now you see our horns are in there and the hair is where it was originally supposed to be. All right, very good. The head is done. Let's get on this neck. Okay, so thin, thick, just thin. Get like that. Okay. And that's going to overlap right there. Before I put that next part of that first leg I just did in, I'm going to do this one. And here's why, so I can see about where it's supposed to go. There we go. It's looking good. I want to get rid of that. How do I want that? Yeah, I want the leg to go over. So I'll get rid of this right here. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's get this leg here. So it's going to overlap thin thick to about right there. And then we're going to come down. Toe there. And then one right there. Right there. Okay, and that's good. Okay, the round of his booty there, and then his neck is going to attach to about right there. That's good. I like it. Everything's coming together rather well. So this is his stomach's coming down here, so we want these lines to kind of match up. Right now the sketch doesn't match up, so we got this one coming here, so if it was to continue through, that's what we kind of want to show. So here to about right there. Now it looks like a continuation. All right, and let's get this leg in. About right there. Another toe there. And let's see, am I gonna make this back part of his leg show? Yeah, maybe. I don't like that. It's gonna be a little bit thicker than that, so maybe just like that. So it'll show a little bit. All right, and let's get this tail in. Just like that. A long bushy. You can just do it however you like. I think that's good. Now if we turn our sketch off, there's our silly looking little giraffe. All right, maybe we should go ahead and put these spots in. So I'm going to turn the sketch back on so we can kind of see. And we can put these horns on the same layer as the sketch. So how you do that is you can either click on the layer and you can merge it down, or you can just pinch the two together and that will do the same thing. Okay, so let's do this spot right there. We'll do another one here. Make sure they're closed. It's going to be important when we go into color. All right. I'm just kind of making them not round, but little bread shape, kind of, I guess. Slice of bread. Making sure they're closed off. Okay, one here. And last one. Okay, we're going to have some on his tail here too. One there. We're just going to make these little simple circles or half circles. All right, I think that's going to do it. And let's put some little hairs on his face here. Make it even funnier looking. Maybe there, one there, and maybe one there. All right. We're going to have to connect this snout. So that's going to be coming around there. All right, and maybe some eyebrows. So we'll do a thin to thick. A little bit thinner there. Just like that. And I think that's going to do for our sketch. I think it really turned out good. So again, I'm going to turn this sketch layer off. And there's our pure lines. Actually, let's erase this light source thing. Get it off of there. All right, so I've given you a color palette also, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this grid lines off. So drawing guide is off. Now we just have our sketch lines. I don't need the sketch anymore, so I'm going to delete it. So now all we have is a background, white background, and our black lines. So we're going to create a new layer. We're going to hold it down and drag it under our line layer. Now on the line layer, you're going to click on it and you're going to set it to reference. And what that's going to do is we're going to color on this layer. Let me rename it so we'll know which one our color layer is. COLOR. So the lines above it are going to be used as a reference. So when we drop the colors in, it'll know where to put it in. Now, what I like to do is slide that to the left and lock it, because I am notorious for putting color in on my reference layer, which I do not want. So if I lock it, it's impossible to do it. Okay, so let's get the coloring him in. So we'll start off with this yellow, top yellow first color there. And what you do is you just take it, hold it down, drop it in. So we'll get that. We'll get his ears. Oops. You gotta make sure you drop it on an open space. If you drop it on a line, it's gonna color that line. Okay, and then down here. Right there, and right there. We'll fix that tail later. It's gonna be dark brown on the tail. Okay, and then the brown color, which is right next on the right side of the yellow color, is gonna be his nose, his horns, all of his spots. So I'm gonna show you something. Drag and drop something in there and then hit continue filling. Now all you gotta do is tap them. That's gonna make life a lot easier for you. And there we go. That quick, we got all those browns in. His hair, I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. So this darker brown here under the black. Drag that in. There we go. And tongue. Tongue is gonna be this pink color right there. Oops, I touched it on the line. There we go. And inside the ear. And I'm gonna do over here too, but since I didn't close off the shape, it's not gonna let me do it, so we could just color it in manually. I'm just gonna put a circle in there. Just like that. Okay, now we can't see the white of the eyes. We don't know if it's colored or not because our background color is white also. So you can either turn it off, which will show you really easily what's not colored. So we're going to put a white into there. And I think that's all. Yeah, his eyes is the only thing that's white. Inside the nostril here, I'm going to put that darker brown. Just like that. And all of our color flats are done. That quick. Turn our background layer back on. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do some... Actually, I was going to do his toes brown too, but I didn't put a line across. So what we can do is we can go back to our reference layer, and we need to unlock it first. And then choose black. Go back to make sure I'm on my inker. And we're going to put kind of a hoof. I'm going to put a line that goes across. Okay. And then I'm going to lock that reference layer again and go back to our colors. And this same brown that's in his spots, I'm going to drop that in on his toes. That's what I wanted. There you go. All right, let's start doing some shading. What we want to do is start a new layer above our colors. I'm going to turn this reference off now. I'm going to go to black. And then we're going to start putting in some shading here. So remember I said the light's going to be coming in from the top left. So the bottoms of the feet, of course, is going to be in shadow. So just like that. And the same thing over here. So about like that. This foot also. Just like that. So that's going to be a shadow under his little knobby knees here. This kind of going to be another one. So I'm just going to make kind of a little U shape under the knees there. That's good enough. Okay, this leg under here is going to be kind of shadowed in by his body. So I'm going to come to about right there, and then I'm going to put all of this in shadow. Just like that. Okay. You know what? I'm going to make this a little bit bigger to about halfway up his knees. And over here also. About halfway up. Okay, and then maybe the bottom of this leg here. So we'll do it. I think about like that's good. Okay. And then probably right here. Just about that much. This body's going to be shadowing this leg. So we're going to make it come to about right, maybe here. Okay, I think that's good. The tail. Probably the little bit right there. And we're going to get this brown part here colored in. So we need to go back to the color layer. And I'm going to do this tail, that darker brown color right there. And I just want kind of all of it. All right, that's how I want it. Okay, let's go back to our shadow layer, change it back to black. Okay, let's see what else. So we got the tail right there. So the head part here, the nose is going to be shadowing the neck. So I'm going to make about right there. There we go. And then about that much of the bottom of the nose. Okay, that looks good. Maybe a bit right here. That's good. Maybe right following along that curve right there. Yeah, I think that's good. Inside the nose here, maybe a little bit. That's good. Maybe here. Maybe just outline the mouth a little bit. Okay, under the eyes. We're going to have some right there. This hair here on this side is going to be probably in the shadow. Maybe about that much. I think that's good. Okay, and then maybe the bottom. Maybe that much. I'm going to say about half of this. That, and then half of this one. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's enough shadow. Now, what you need to do next is you need to go to that shadow layer, hit your N, and we're going to take the opacity down on that shadow until it looks like a shadow. And I think about 20% is good. Okay, now let's start doing some highlights. So we're going to do the same thing that we did. We're going to create a new layer, and this time we're going to go all white. Okay, and there's going to be a lot less highlights than there are shadows. So I'm just going to put like some little lines where I might think that light coming in from the top left is going to fall. Top of the nose here. Okay, I'm going to just put a little curve there. Okay, and maybe down the neck a little bit. About right there. Could be there. Could be there. Could be there. And I think that is about it. I'm going to do some here just to break up that brown. And maybe on his hair, on his head too. So about like that. Maybe one right there too. Okay. And then what you can do too is you can take the opacity down on that part. All right, well, let's change our background color where he will stand out a little bit more. I don't know what blue color, maybe a lighter blue color. Yeah, that's good. And there you are, guys. Funny giraffe. Turned out good. Want to thank you guys for joining me. Tune in every Friday for new long-form tutorials. We got kids art on Sundays using traditional materials, and we have shorts every other day. So take care. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon, do all those good things, and leave me a comment also below. If you'd like to share your artwork on Instagram, you can tag it with @Chameldoesart, same as the channel's name, and I'll be able to take a look at that. So take care, guys, and I'll see you next week.